I think a pretty difficult part about training a dog is watching other people with dogs who are so well behaved in the ways that you feel like your dog is maybe struggling, because it's kind of a reflection on like, what am I doing wrong? You know, you go to puppy class and these people over here with their puppies, they're walking perfectly on a lead. Maybe they got recalled down like a champion, and then there's your dog, right? You know, it can be hard. It can be really hard. Today I wanted to talk about an episode of Bluey that has a really great lesson about reframing success and running your own race. In the episode called Baby Race, Chili finds herself in a little bit of a competition that she wasn't expecting. She tells the story about how Bluey learned how to walk and how to crawl, all these milestones. She was with a group of moms and all of their babies, and she's seeing judo. She's hitting all of these milestones before Bluey. And meanwhile, Bluey, every single milestone that she hits in a little bit of a different way. Instead of crawling, she starts rolling. She scooches. She does all the things that babies will do when they're developing. But because she's seeing judo get it right, she starts to frame her progress with Bluey as a failure. You know, she feels like a failure. Like she's constantly playing catch up. And she tries everything. She tries encouragement. She tries pushing a little bit harder. But no matter what she does, Bluey just won't seem to hit the milestones that she's expecting. I see this all the time in training. Client feels like maybe they took on too much in adopting the dog that they got, or the number of dogs that they have, or the choice to get a puppy at their age, or with the kids in the house, yada yada. And meanwhile, they're looking at these other dogs, and it's hard to put into perspective that their circumstances might be different. Dogs have individual personalities too. Some dogs have an easier time learning than other dogs, just because of every single factor that you can possibly think of.
Some babies just roll before they crawl.
Your dog is not falling behind. You are not failing them. You know, I have to remind myself of the same thing, because here's the thing, dog trainers, we have egos. When we're in the room, we're supposed to be the person who knows the answer to the question. I have struggled with imposter syndrome since my very beginning of this profession. You know, I always kind of feel a little bit out of my depth, like I'm just falling short. And yet, when I think about my favorite trainers, the ones that I look up to the most, a running theme in every single one of them is the fact that they are never going to say that they know the answer to every question. They listen more than they instruct, and they aren't afraid to say, I don't know the answer to that question, but let me see if I can figure it out for you. That combination of confidence and humility, that's what I look for when I'm talking to another trainer. So if you've ever looked at someone else's dog and the way that they are behaving, and you've thought, why can't I ever get there? What's wrong with me? Let me say this loud and clear.
And there's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
A bird just hit the window. At the end of Baby Race, Chili realizes that she was never behind. Bluey was just Bluey. And she was always going to get there on her own time. We all need that reminder sometimes, is that, you know, you're doing great. Just the fact that you're trying. That's most of the battle right there.
Why did I decide to walk in the kitchen? I don't know, sweetie. Maybe you just saw something you wanted.
This has been another episode of Healing with the Healers. If this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. And if you know someone who needs to hear this story, send it their way. See you halfway there.